You glance at your phone 96 times a day. You scroll endlessly, seeking fleeting validation from strangers, letting vapid images steal your time, your focus, your very soul. This isn't living, this is surrender. You have become a prisoner of pixels, a slave to the immediate, a shadow of the person you could be. This age, for all its convenience, is breeding a generation of comfortable cowards. When a difficult task appears, you instinctively reach for distraction. When confronted with criticism, you seek solace in echo chambers. When true effort is required, you retreat to the soft glow of your screen, numbing yourself to the urgent call of reality. You avoid the hard conversations, the demanding work, the vital discomfort that forges true character. This immediate gratification, this constant need for external approval, is your modern weakness. Do you think a man like Churchill, facing the storm of Nazism, spent his days seeking likes or avoiding conflict? While Britain slumbered, caught in the delusion of peace, he stood alone, often ridiculed, warning of the gathering storm. He spent his so-called wilderness years not on trivialities, but on study, on writing, on preparing for the moment when his nation would need his strength. He faced the truth, unblinkingly, while others averted their gaze. Stop seeking comfort. Start facing the mirror. The first step to reclaiming your power is to acknowledge the chains you willingly wear. Delete the apps that steal your attention. Turn off the notifications that fracture your focus. Commit to periods of silence, of true work, where you are unburdened by the digital noise that pollutes your mind. If you continue this path, you become the person who complains about his circumstances, but does nothing to change them. You become brittle, unable to withstand the slightest pressure, perpetually waiting for life to be easy. But if you confront this digital addiction, if you tear yourself away from the soft embrace of distraction, you begin to build a mental fortress that no external force can breach. Your comfort zone is your danger zone. The man who seeks ease finds weakness. Your phone is your weakness. There's a voice inside you. You hear it in the quiet moments, in the dead of night, whispering about what you could achieve, what impact you could make. But then the everyday noise floods back in. The fear of judgment, the easy path, and you silence that whisper. You choose the known, the comfortable, over the uncertain, the extraordinary. This is the betrayal of your own potential. You stand at a crossroads every day. Do you pursue that challenging project, or do you coast? Do you speak your mind, or do you nod along to keep the peace? Do you strive for mastery, or settle for good enough? You feel the pull towards something greater, but the inertia of habit, the fear of failure, the ridicule of the small-minded keeps you shackled to the mundane. You allow others' opinions to define your ambition. Think of Churchill in 1940. The world believed Britain was finished. Many in his own government wanted to negotiate, to surrender, to find an easy peace. But he heard a different call. He knew the price of appeasement. He stood alone, defied the comfortable consensus, and declared that Britain would fight on the beaches, on the landing grounds, in the fields and in the streets. He did not ask what was easy. He asked what was right. He did not seek popular approval. He sought victory. Your greatness is not found in avoiding difficulty. It is found in confronting it. Define your personal objective. What is the hill you are willing to die on? What is the challenge that calls to your deepest self? Then, with absolute conviction, begin the ascent. Stop seeking validation from the crowd. Start seeking the respect of your future self. If you ignore this call, you condemn yourself to a life of quiet desperation, looking back with regret at opportunities squandered. You become the forgotten man, a footnote in your own story. But if you answer it, if you embrace the struggle, you will discover a strength you never knew you possessed. You will forge a destiny, not merely inherit one. Greatness whispers, but fear shouts. The path to destiny is paved with difficulty. You don't need their approval. You need your own respect. You think mediocrity is a safe harbor. You imagine it as a calm, untroubled lake where you can drift along free from the storms of ambition. You are gravely mistaken. Mediocrity is not a haven. It is a slow, insidious poison that numbs your spirit, erodes your will, and ultimately consumes your very being. You watch your peers achieve more, take bigger risks, and forge ahead, and you rationalize your inaction. It's too hard, you say. I'm content, you claim. You settle for the passable job, the lukewarm relationship, the unfulfilling routine. This daily acquiescence to just enough creates a gravitational pull that makes escape nearly impossible. You become the man who complains about his job for 20 years, who dreams of a life he's too afraid to build. Churchill warned of this very danger. In the 1930s, many in Britain and Europe chose the path of appeasement with Hitler, believing that a little compromise, a little giving in, would preserve peace. They sought the comfort of avoiding conflict, the illusion of safety. They chose mediocrity in their response to a rising evil. The price, a world plunged into the most devastating war in human history. The price of their peace in our time was unimaginable, suffering and millions of lives. Do not accept the illusion of comfort over the reality of consequence. Look honestly at where you are drifting. Are you making choices today that will lead to deep regret tomorrow? Identify the areas in your life where you are settling for less than your true potential. Confront them with ruthless honesty. Make the uncomfortable choice now. Take the hard road. If you continue to choose the path of least resistance, you will become a ghost of your potential, haunted by the specter of what could have been. Your life will be a monument to missed opportunities, a testament to unfulfilled dreams. But if you reject mediocrity with every fiber of your being, if you commit to excellence in every endeavor, you will live a life of profound purpose and leave a legacy of strength. Mediocrity is a slow death. The soft road leads to a hard life. Comfort today means regret tomorrow. You chase the latest self-help fad, the newest productivity hack, the instant gratification of a quick win. You hop from trend to trend, seeking a shortcut, a magic formula for success. But true strength is not found in fleeting novelty. It is built upon principles as old as time, forged in the crucible of consistent effort and unwavering commitment. What are your foundational beliefs? Do you even have them, or are you just drifting, guided by the fickle winds of popular opinion? You see others achieve, and you wonder at their methods, hoping to replicate a surface-level tactic without understanding the deep-rooted conviction that underpins their action. You spend your energy on external validation or superficial gain, neglecting the bedrock of character that makes lasting achievement possible. When faced with a setback, your resolve crumbles because it was never built on solid ground. You lack a personal philosophy, a set of non-negotiable rules for how you live and operate. Churchill understood this deeply. His entire life was built on ancient principles: duty, honor, perseverance, courage in the face of overwhelming odds. He did not invent new methods for winning a war. He applied timeless truth. He consistently refined his understanding of history, strategy, and human nature. Even in his wilderness years, dismissed by many, he adhered to his principles, preparing himself, writing, speaking, and studying. He built his knowledge and resolve brick by brick, day by day, not in flashy bursts, but through relentless, disciplined effort. He knew that the unyielding application of sound principles would eventually prevail. Stop seeking the quick fix. Start defining your own ancient principles. What are the non-negotiable values that will guide your decisions, your actions, your very existence? Write them down. Review them daily. Commit to consistent effort, not intense but sporadic bursts. This means showing up every day, doing the hard work even when you don't feel like it, and mastering the fundamentals of your craft, your relationships, your health. Focus on deep work, on building something substantial, not just appearing busy. If you continue to chase fleeting trends, you will remain perpetually reactive, tossed about by every new distraction. Your efforts will be scattered, your achievements hollow, and your character weak. But if you anchor yourself to timeless principles, if you build your life on a foundation of discipline and unwavering commitment, you will become a force of nature, resilient against any storm, and capable of achievements beyond your current imagination. Discipline is the bedrock of destiny. Master the fundamentals, or be mastered by chaos. Consistency compounds into greatness. You crave comfort. ease and effortless victories. You shrink from criticism, recoil from failure, and crumble under the slightest pressure. This avoidance of discomfort is your deepest vulnerability. The world outside does not care for your delicate sensibility. It will test you, break you, and reshape you. The question is not if adversity will strike, but how you will respond when it inevitably does. When your boss criticizes your work, do you get defensive or learn? When a project fails, do you give up or dissect the failure for lessons? When you face a daunting challenge, do you seek an escape or lean into the discomfort? You have become conditioned to expect a smooth path, to believe that struggle means you are doing something wrong. This mindset condemns you to perpetual fragility. Churchill understood the crucible of testing. He led Britain through the darkest hours of World War II, facing constant bombardment, relentless German advances, and profound internal dissent. He stood firm through the Blitz, when London burned and the very existence of his nation hung by a thread. He faced defeat after defeat, yet he never surrendered. He was called a warmonger, mocked and dismissed for years before the war. But he used that criticism as fuel, refining his arguments, strengthening his resolve. He famously declared, "If you're going through hell, keep going." He knew that true strength was not the absence of struggle, but the capacity to endure and overcome it. Stop avoiding the fire. Start walking into it. Embrace the discomfort. Seek out challenges that force you to grow. When faced with criticism, do not react emotionally. Instead ask, what truth can I extract from this? View setbacks not as failures but as data points, as crucial lessons. Develop a mental framework for handling adversity. What is the lesson here? What can I control? What is the next immediate action? Understand that progress demands resistance. Forge your character in the heat of difficulty. If you continue to shrink from the crucible, you will remain brittle, prone to breaking under pressure, and perpetually limited by your own fear. Your potential will remain untapped, your spirit untested. But if you embrace the forge, if you welcome the challenges that define your limits, you will emerge stronger, more resilient, and utterly unbreakable. You will discover a capacity for endurance you never imagined. Adversity is your greatest teacher. Pressure reveals, it does not create. The man who fears the test remains weak. You start with enthusiasm, but your efforts are inconsistent. You have grand ambitions, but your daily habits are chaotic. You are easily distracted, prone to procrastination, and frequently abandon your goals when the initial spark fades. You confuse intention with action, and sporadic bursts of effort with true, sustained discipline. This inconsistency is the gaping hole through which your potential leaks away. You wake up without a clear purpose, checking your phone instead of planning your attack. You allow interruptions to dictate your day. You make excuses for missing workouts, for delaying difficult conversations, for not finishing what you started. You tell yourself you'll start tomorrow, or next week, but tomorrow never truly arrives. You live in a state of perpetually almost, never quite achieving the mastery you desire, because your actions are not aligned with your aspirations. Churchill's life was a testament to prodigious discipline. He was not merely a brilliant orator. He was a methodical, relentless worker. He wrote millions of words, painted hundreds of canvases, and consumed vast amounts of information daily. He woke at a consistent time, dictated correspondence from his bed, read newspapers thoroughly, and scheduled his day to maximize his output, including specific times for naps and baths, which were part of his strategic energy management. He understood that victory, whether in war or in life, required unyielding, consistent effort, not just inspiration. His discipline allowed him to weather immense pressure and produce an astonishing volume of work. Stop allowing your moods to dictate your action. Start imposing order on your life. Develop a non-negotiable morning routine that sets the tone for your day. Identify your most important task and complete it before anything else. Block out specific times for deep, uninterrupted work. Eliminate distractions ruthlessly. Hold yourself accountable for consistent daily effort, not just grand gestures. Discipline is not about feeling motivated. It is about doing what must be done, whether you feel like it or not. If you continue to live by whim, you will remain a slave to your impulses, your ambitions crumbling into dust. Your life will be a series of half-finished projects and unfulfilled desires, a constant state of internal conflict. But if you embrace the warrior's discipline, if you commit to consistent, deliberate action, you will build an unstoppable momentum. You will transform your intentions into reality, your dreams into achievements, and your very character into a force to be reckoned with. Discipline is not punishment. It is power. Consistency defeats chaos. Your daily habits define your destiny. You talk too much. You feel the constant urge to explain yourself, to justify your decisions, to fill every silence with your own voice. You believe that constant pronouncements demonstrate strength, but in truth, they betray an insecurity, a desperate need for external validation. True power does not need to announce itself. It simply is. When you enter a room, do you immediately seek to dominate the conversation? When challenged, do you launch into lengthy defenses? When facing a new situation, do you broadcast your intentions before you have even taken action? You are constantly performing for an audience, real or imagined, instead of quietly executing your vision. This constant outward projection of ego wastes your energy and diminishes your actual influence. Your words lose their weight when they are abundant. Churchill was a master of powerful rhetoric, yes, but he also understood the crushing weight of silence, the authority of deliberate action. He did not need to shout to command. When he walked into the House of Commons, his very presence, his reputation for unwavering resolve, filled the chamber before he uttered a single word. His broadcasts were timed and deliberate, each word chosen for maximum impact, followed by the quiet, brutal work of war. He spoke when it mattered, and his actions amplified his words. He knew that the ultimate argument was victory, not mere oratory. When you consider your career, is it merely a means to a paycheck, or are you building something that will outlast you? When you interact with others, are you uplifting them, or are you focused only on your own gain? You shy away from the difficult long-term investments in favor of instant gratification. You fear the weight of responsibility that comes with building a legacy, believing it is too grand a task, when in truth it is the only path to true significance. Churchill always understood the long arc of history. He saw himself not merely as a politician, but as a guardian of civilization, fighting for principles that transcended his own lifetime. His vision extended beyond the immediate battlefield to the generations that would follow. His writings, his speeches, his very leadership were all aimed at securing a future, at leaving a better world than he found. He spoke of the lights going out across Europe and fought to keep them burning for posterity. He built a legacy, not through self-indulgence, but through relentless, purposeful action in the service of a greater cause. Stop living for mere existence. Start living for purpose. Define the mark you intend to leave on your profession, your community, your family, or the world. What values will you embody? What impact will you demand of yourself? Begin today to build something lasting. Share your wisdom. Mentor those who follow. Take on challenges that benefit more than just yourself. This is not about personal glory. It is about contributing something of substance to the continuing human story. If you continue to live without a grander purpose, your life will be forgettable, your efforts scattered, and your potential unfulfilled. You will disappear into the sands of time, leaving no ripple. But if you embrace the legacy of strength, if you commit to building something that outlives you, you will transform into an unstoppable force, a source of enduring inspiration. You will not merely live, you will have truly existed, and your influence will echo through the ages. Live a life worth remembering. Your legacy is built today. Become unstoppable and leave an unshakable mark.